This is my review of chapter 62 of the Bleach manga. Starting, I think, volume 8. The cover is of just Sangetsu. He's upside down. His cape at the very end kind of turns red, which looks pretty cool, I guess. His hair is doing his thing. Not a lot, really, to say about it. And then the left page was just Ichigo in the corner and Kubo sharing that someone wrote to him and said that they named their son Ichigo after the protagonist of Bleach. That he thought that was pretty weird. Then the next page is a blurb about pride being a blade. It says something like it'll rust over time, and it'll turn on you if you don't wield it right and stuff like that. I don't know. As we come back in the story, the chain of fate is still devouring itself due to the encroachment. Ichigo freaks out and he tries to crush the mouths against a rock with his chest, but Kisuke warns him that they will bite him if he does that, and that's exactly what they do. They start biting his abdomen, and he falls to the ground bleeding. Kisuke says that normally this one happens so quickly, but they have a gas in the hole that he's in to speed this up. I guess putting more pressure on Ichigo is the point. So it'll only take 3 days, whereas normally it could take months. Kisuke warns Ichigo that they'll have to kill him if he can't become a Shinigami. And Ichigo questions whether or not Kisuke would really let him die, but Kisuke says that he just has to make the choice whether he's going to become a Shinigami or not. The chapter cover is then shown. It's of Orihime standing on like this weird... I want to say it's like... I don't know what word to use. I called it a metal wire model of a plane. It's like these white strips, and they're in the shape of a plane. I don't want to call it an endoskeleton, but it's like a hollow model of a plane, basically. It's not really wire. It looks more like it's some kind of a, I don't know, white elastic material. As we come back into the story, we come to Chad and Orihime, and they're screaming because I guess they're trying to power up or activate their powers or something, and they don't know what to do, so they're screaming. They fail to use their powers, and Yoruichi berates them a bit. He tells them that normally their powers would awaken to protect something, and asks them what they wanted to protect when they used them. Orihime reveals that she wanted to protect Tatsuki, and then Chad tries to think of Karin, but he can't. He remembers she had a hat and black long hair, and then he thinks that she's Ichigo's sister, and thinks of lipstick, and so he imagines Ichigo with lipstick, black hair, and a cap, and it was pretty funny. He like freaks out. Orihime's power starts to activate, and Yoruichi again asks her what she's going to the Soul Society for, and she says she's going to protect Ichigo. And then Shun Rika activates, and she greets them, then Tsubaki attacks her for activating them while she's not in danger. Yoruichi asks Chad why he's going, and he just kind of ponders, and then we cut away. We come back to the encroachment. I don't know why I said it like that. We see that the mouths are like up in the air and they close and tire out, it seems like. They fall to the ground. And then Ichigo gets up and he says the pain is so excruciating he can't move while the encroachment is active. So he has to try to climb out of the hole when they're not doing anything. He tries running up the wall and he gets a good ways up before he falls back down because obviously he can't just run all the way up. And the others are watching him. Jinta yells down and asks Ichigo if he's hungry. Ichigo says that he isn't. Jinta then says that if he does feel hungry, then that means he's becoming a hollow. Jinta Nururu then begins spitting on Ichigo. Ichigo isn't sure how long he's been down in the hole. And I guess, jump cut. Jinta jumps down with some food, and he says that Ichigo's gotta be hungry at this point. Ichigo says he's still not hungry, and he still has a lot of his chain to go. And then Jinta kind of looks somber, and he tells Ichigo that he's been in the hole for 70 hours, and that this is usually the point that most people would become hollow. And then he warns Ichigo that the next encroachment will be worse than all of the other ones. The whole chain then awakens and begins devouring itself entirely, almost immediately after, which is a little contrived. And Ichigo finally starts turning into a hollow once his chain's completely broken away. And then the corner is just of Jinta getting all the food together on a plate. One thing I think Kubo probably should have done with this is have Ichigo talk to Tesai. Because the point isn't for Ichigo to transform to hollow. The point is for him to find his Shinigami powers. And even if he doesn't know who Tesai is, he knows he's there. He knows he has some abilities. He should have tried asking Tesai something for some kind of hints. Or, hey, how to use your powers? What's a way I can try to use mine? Something like that. I think Kubo overlooked that a little bit. The scene with Orihime and Chad is kind of funny, I guess. I don't know, it's a weird thing for a training montage. Kubo does this a lot with Ichigo, where it's like he realized that his character needed to take a lot of shortcuts to get as strong as other people. So he tried to write them to be like extremely tasking. But like, this isn't training, this is more so just survival. And I think it would have been more of a training thing if Ichigo had talked to Sai. Maybe had someone trying to help him figure out how to get out of the hole rather than just, hey, you gotta get out of this hole. No one told him how to access his inner world or anything, so I think that could have been handled better writing-wise. But other than that, the chapter was fine.